Game Chat with Bwana, episode 59 right now.
Welcome to Game Chat with Bwana, your source for gaming news and reviews. Now, here's Bwana McCall.
This is Game Chat with Bwana. Game Chat with Bwana, episode 59. We have done this exact same thing 58 previous times, because I like to make up new words. Previous. We have done other things previous to this. That is Game Chat with Bwana. Game Chat with Bwana, episode 59. We are here. We're actually back. We were gone for quite a while. Due to mainly work. It was like everything I was doing was scheduled on Monday. And I was like, oh, we're just going to postpone the show. We'll just do it later in the week. And then all of a sudden it's Saturday. I'm like, oops, the week's over. Well, we might as well just wait to the next Game Chat. Then all of a sudden, nope, something else popped up in Game Chat with Bwana. And this was basically for almost a whole month. But we did have E3 Chat with Bwana last week. Those of you who were here live at Bwana.tv and then twitch.tv/Bwana. You know that we had E3 Chat with Bwana, and we talked about all a lot of E3 stuff that came out of the keynotes and the presentations. Mainly, we focused on that stuff, what they were announcing there. But there was a lot of news throughout E3. Some of it is going to be sprinkled today. What we're going to talk about in today's show should be a fairly normal show. It's not going to be super long. Not going to be squabble gobble 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 duper long, but it is going to be Game Chat with Bwana. We're here every Monday night at live.bwana.tv and at twitch.tv/Bwana. And we do this every Monday night, like I said. And what Game Chat with Bwana is we talk about the latest gaming news. The last 7 days of gaming news we discuss here. We go about the internet and we try to find the best stuff. And all the time, most of the time, I find some good stuff. It's like pretty good. I'll give myself a pat on the back if I can reach back there. I give myself a pat on the back. Sometimes it's good. But you guys come up and you say, well, Bwana, it wasn't that perfect. Here's a story to augment what you have already discussed. And you post those stories over on our forum at bwana.tv/forums. And you guys, you're just awesome like that. We talk about your stories. And then after that, we have what's called Title Time. Title Time is when you guys come up with a snazzy title at the end of the show. And we talk about what the show was about. Basically, you put a snazzy title together, be a witty title based on the stories that we talked about then we in the show, and we give you all kinds of praise and them accolades, them wondrous accolades that we do here at Game Chat with Bwana. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started, y'all.
Game Chat with Bwana would not be possible without the support of our corporate partners. Twitch.tv, Wirecast, YouTube, and 123 Systems. Thank you all for your support of Game Chat with Bwana.
And for our first story, we're going to talk about the Unreal Engine. The Unreal Engine. This was a story. This was a topic that, kind of slipped the radar on Cassidy Bwana. When we were discussing, we have like pre-E3 discussions. I was streaming like Diablo 3. Like, hey guys, what are you looking forward to the most with this whole E3 thing? And people were like, I'm kind of looking forward to the Wii U and maybe a little bit that Last of Us game from the Naughty Dog folks, and perhaps a little bit of some of them are, and we just couldn't think of anything. And a couple people said, hey Bwana, what about the Unreal Engine? And I was like, gasp. Gasp.avi. You are absolutely correct. The Unreal Engine will be featured at E3. Why in the world did I not remember this particular story? And we talked about Unreal a little bit. And this story talks about some of what they revealed at E3. In terms of the Unreal Engine, one of the things I want to know here, they show a bunch of screenshots in this story big demon-looking dude, some doors, and a bunch of lighting and shading and texturing, and a lot of cool-looking things that, from a tech demo perspective, hey, it's like ooh ah, but you really don't get a really good glimpse of what the engine can do until a game actually utilizes it. So one of the things that I really liked about what they did is that they ran this on a single video card. It wasn't this decked out rig that had like 5 680s in SL8. I just made that up because SLI with 8 cards, I'm just going to call it SL8. With SL8 and in RAID, somehow they got video cards running in RAID with SSD flux capacitors. No, they only had one particular video card with a single computer running this demo. You can watch the video here, and I was like, okay, so they're targeting some of the, some of the mid-tier, to up to like lower high, medium high tier systems with this, which is good because when new games come out, we don't have to go out and buy new video cards to utilize the Unreal Engine in theory. Unreal Engine 4. So check out some of these screenshots here. Watch the Unreal demo that they featured over at E3. I was impressed, as I'm always impressed with E3 with the Unreal stuff. One of the things they mentioned is that the Unreal Engine is going to support everything, pretty much from your toenail clipper all the way up to your car's gas tank. They're going to support everything from phones to computers to implants. Unreal Engine implant. Get it out of my head. I see Diablo in my dreams. Why? Because you have Unreal Engine 4 implant 5.6.3. Would you like an upgrade to that? Check it out, guys. This is from DSOgaming.com. There's a bunch of stories about the Unreal Engine 4 all over the internet. But check it out here. DSOgaming.com. Unreal Engine 4 featured at E3. Now, while we're talking about E3, let's talk about one of the other stories that I didn't really discuss that much during my previous videos, but I think it's worth mentioning. Some people were expecting this title, or did expect this title, Star Wars 1313, to be running on the Unreal Engine 4, the new Unreal Engine, but it is running on the Unreal Engine 3, which is a current Unreal Engine, which is nothing wrong with that. The game still looks really, really good. Those of you who don't know, Star Wars 1313 is basically a over-the-shoulder kind of a perspective game that takes from the lore of the Star Wars universe on Coruscant. Those of you who don't know about Star Wars, there was this planet. You saw the newer Star Wars, right? It was like the second new one. When they were flying around this planet that was like a whole city. The entire planet is a city. So as you go down the planet, there's different levels. And this particular game is featured around level 1313, which is all about like villainy and smuggling and villains and criminals. Kind of a bounty hunter based game. There are no Jedi in Star Wars 1313. People are like, what? Wait a minute. How in the possible green universe is there no Jedi in Star Wars 1313? I think you are making a mistake, Mr. Sir. There's nothing ever coming out of LucasArts that has not had the lightsaber swung at least once. Please check your notes for an error. But this is actually what they intended. They wanted to completely leave out the entire Jedi, because this is all featured around on Coruscant. All on Coruscant in this level of nastiness and villainy. Personally, it doesn't bother me that they don't have Jedi. I was actually kind of intrigued because I think the Jedi are being kicked into the dirt and the dead horse is like rolling on top of it. They've been beaten down to the ground. Everything's Jedi, 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 Jedi. You hear Star Wars side, it's like, oh, where's the Jedi? Somehow I think they're gonna throw, and sure enough, they're Jedi everywhere. Because that's what people cling to. That's what people like about Star Wars titles. But I think this is a good departure from that. The whole bounty hunter perspective, I think it's kind of intriguing. I'm going to keep my eye on this title. This is Star Wars 1313 on the Unreal Engine 3. Check it out, guys. This is over on computerandvideogames.com. They got the details, there. Now, while we're talking about E3, Nintendo was supposedly going to be the the company out of the big three, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, that had the most oomph coming in because everybody was anticipating their new hardware that they announced at last E3. So I was like, all right, Nintendo's going to bring it. They're going to have a lot of new things for us to see. And one of those things that I think sell Nintendo titles, and you guys probably agree with me, one of the things that sell Nintendo titles is the Zelda franchise. We saw that with the 3DS. The 3DS really didn't really take off until that Ocarina of Time remake hit it. And I respect Zelda titles. I really do. I respect them because the fans love them, and they sell systems. If there's a new Zelda title and it requires a new system, you better believe the fans are going to buy it. So naturally, when we talk about this new system called the Wii U, fans are going to be looking forward to the Zelda title. And unfortunately, it is not, I wouldn't say 2 years away. I would say probably about 2 years away. They're currently in the research phase. And according to this article over on Eurogamer.net, Miyamoto goes into detail as to some of the things they learned from Skyward Sword. Mostly that people had to use them. He said people had, you guys who play Skyward Sword know you can use the motion control to control the sword movement. And he said in this article, not quote, let me find it. He said, with the last game, Skyward Sword, that was a game where you had motion control to use your weapons and a lot of different items. And I thought that was a lot of fun. But there were some people who weren't able to do that or didn't like it as much and stopped playing partway through it. Well, wouldn't you know, somebody got tired of swinging the sword. I just never thought that would happen. I never ever thought that would happen. Yes, I did know it would happen. He says, we're in the phase where we're looking back at what worked very well and what has been missing and how we can evolve it further. So, in essence, they're trying to marry this franchise with this new control scheme and do it properly, which we kind of assumed. We knew that. I mean, that's part of R&D. That's what you do in R&D. You have to find out how the thing works, and you have to make it work and make it fun and make it glorious so that people will buy it. But and this other quote kind of goes into more detail. We're seeing how the way that tastes are broadening in video games. You have some people who prefer more casual experiences, and you have some people who prefer sort of those more in-depth experiences. Obviously, a company that's been making games for a very long time, we tend to be more in the deeper, longer game side of things. That's Nintendo talking like this. But really, what we continue to ask ourselves is, as we have over the years, is what's the most important element of Zelda if we were to try to make a Zelda game that a lot of people can play? A lot of blah in that. But basically, it comes down to this. They put too much emphasis on the motion controls in the last Zelda. He basically admitted that people essentially got tired of doing it. He said some people, but I think a lot of people got tired of doing it. So this title, are they going to really emphasize the Wii U gamepad? You know, that's the centerpiece around this console. That's what they're talking about, the whole asymmetric gaming concept. Are they going to push that down our throats with Zelda? Or are they going to be a little bit more thoughtful about it? You know, it's getting you thinking here. Are they going to do it right? Or are they just going to sell the tech using the Zelda franchise? Let's hope they do it right for all the Zelda fans out there. Check it out, guys. This is over Eurogamer.net. They got the details over there.
Game Chat with Bwana is recorded live before a worldwide audience every Monday night. You can participate by suggesting news stories. Just register an account in our forums at bwana.tv/forums.
All right, let's talk about Hawken. Hawken, mushroom. Oh, Hawken is a mech multiplayer game that we've been following here at Game Chat with Bwana for quite some time. We like it. We like how it looks. We like where they're going with it. And we saw a lot of gameplay at E3 that even made us want it even more. But this right here is just plumly ridiculous. This here controller, just look at it. It's got like a nuclear bomb button, and it's got like a keyboard thing, and it's got all these buttons, and it's got 2 joints, and it's got all these buttons on top, and it's got these knobs, and it's just so much ownage in this, so much awesome, that if you had it in your house, it would probably turn the table into gold. If you put it on the table would probably take a little time. It'd probably take like 2 weeks, but it would slowly transmute into gold. That's how epic this controller is. But look at this, man. 2 particular, it's just ridiculous how this thing looks. It's got a nice design, and it does remind me of Steel Battalion. The Steel Battalion setup, if you guys remember that from the Xbox. That giant contraption with like the 2 sticks, and you're like, this is you. I'm driving a Mac. I'm driving a Mac. You know, it's like adults instantly turn to kids when we get stuff like this. We just start giggling uncontrollably with all these buttons and knobs and switches that we'll probably never use. But they're there. Just look at them. They're there. This thing was shown at E3 in a glass box, and everybody just walked by, and they probably had to clean the glass probably like 1,000 times from all the drool and geek sweat that was just all over it. But wow, this is a very nicely designed. I gotta say, it's a very nicely designed controller. It's not too bulky. It doesn't. Some of you may think it's too bulky, but given where these controllers, how they looked in the past, you know, these big mech controllers, this one looks pretty streamlined. This one looks pretty well done. And I'm just going strictly by looks. I'm not going by, you know, what I've, you know, hands on. I don't have any hands on. I don't think hardly anybody had any hands on. They pretty much just had it in a glass case. No price point has been announced yet, and I don't know. I'm thinking at least $299 just for this thing. Now, the game Hawken is going to be free. And, you know, it is going to be able to work with other mech games like MechWarrior Online, which is coming out. And also, you know, any other mech titles that may come out, you may use this. Or you may use it in any game you want, you know. It may not be limited to just that. You may find another game that you may attribute this to. But this is one of these controllers that just makes you do a double take. You just look at it and you go, wow, that's awesome. But Hawken is definitely looking good. Hopefully, by the time, you know, I'm hoping to get in the beta before they release the open beta on December 12th this year. But, you know, I have not played it. I have not seen it yet. I'm dying to get in the beta. I signed up a long time ago. But not in the beta yet. Hopefully I'll get in soon. Hawken was definitely a star at E3. So congratulations to those guys. It got very positive reception from those people. They were at the Twitch TV booth mostly demoing the game. But this is the controller. What's the name? I think they got a name. The Mech Fu. What? Mech Fu. USB fully programmable controller. Nice. Very nice. Check it out, guys. That's over on Destructoid.com. They got the details. Now, let's get into some nitty-gritty news about Vivendi and Activision Blizzard. When I first saw this, I was like, ooh, this is juicy. This would be perfect for Game Chat with Bwana. I could talk about this for 6.5 minutes. It's ridiculous. Vivendi is considering selling Activision Blizzard. Yeah, a lot of you probably didn't know that Activision Blizzard was owned by Vivendi, which is a media conglomerate, giant company. Probably is why their influence going down on Activision is very Hollywood-based type things. But one of the things that I got out of this is that, you know, if they do sell off Activision Blizzard, I saw another story that I think they may even stated in here, is that Blizzard may consider going off on their own. They're going to sell them separately. So Blizzard would be an independent company again. And I got to wondering, I'm like, would Blizzard return to its roots of being an awesome company? Because if you've been watching the trends, since they've been bought by Activision Blizzard, things have kind of gotten suckier and suckier and suckier every year. You know, things have just gotten worse in terms of control and what freedom we have, and just how they're making their games, and the length of the games, and how they're segmenting. Like StarCraft has 3 parts, 3 expansions that they're gonna milk us dry for 3 titles for 1 game. Prior to Activision, Blizzard wouldn't have done that. No, they just would have released maybe 1 or 2 expansions after you get a full game with all 3 races. Diablo 3. We got a game with, completely online, battle.net. Arguably a very, very short-ish grind to 60. Whereas in the previous Diablo titles, people never even saw the last level. And people are already at the highest level, grinding. So games are like truncated, and it's just all these things that Blizzard used to do so well, they're not doing as well now. And we always point the finger at Activision, but maybe it was Vivendi that was pushing all of this control down on these companies to push to us. The chain of command is very, very strong with this one. But I don't know what they're going to do. This is, pure speculation, and their stock dropped 28% just based on the rumor that it was going to happen. But personally, I think Blizzard could survive, but I don't know about Activision. Because I think Activision needs Blizzard more than Blizzard needs Activision. Blizzard has enough to sustain themselves for a very, very long time. Even though, their talent has changed over the years, and the management has changed over the years. I think they have enough to sustain themselves for a very long time, especially if they return to their roots. Whereas Activision, I don't know. You think about some of the Activision games you play that are non-Blizzard, that are non-COD. Not a very long list, is it? Get you thinking. So this is going to be something that we're going to be watching very, very closely, because I think it's going to have a ripple effect through the gaming industry if it were to happen. And it could be a positive thing if some certain companies return to their roots. Check it out, guys. At PCGamer.com, they got the details about Vivendi considering selling Activision Blizzard. And hopefully Blizzard will return to their roots. Here at Game Chat with Bwana, we're hoping that's going to happen. We're hoping. Now, speaking of Blizzard, and I've got one new comment. Diablo 3's Real Money Auction House is going live very, very soon. And they say tomorrow, but I don't think it's going to be tomorrow. I think it's, this is a article that says it was going to go live for the 30th. But one thing that is set to go live on the 19th from what I read. But one thing that I think is actually a good thing for this is that they're going to require you to have an authenticator. And what's an authenticator? Those of you who play other games, sometimes you have these little devices that show numbers that rotate every 10 seconds or so. And after you log into, after you authenticate to the game, it's going to ask you for what that number is showing. This is a second level of authentication and prevents hacks. So the Real Money Auction House on Diablo 3 is not live yet. They've been delaying it. There's also features of the auction house that are not in place as well. You still can't sell crafting materials from Diablo 3 auction house. It doesn't allow you to do that yet. But given all the hacks that have been happening, and these have been legitimate hacks, people thought that they were just going through and stealing sessions and stuff like that. No, these are people that had keyloggers on their machines, didn't know it, or these are people that got legitimately brute force hacked, where people just tried their ID over and over and over and broke into their account, stole all their stuff, and left. But the number of people who got hacked that have an authenticator is very, very small. Most would argue that nobody who has an authenticator has been hacked. And authenticators you can either buy, or you can get the free mobile version, which I have, which runs on iPhone, iOS devices, and on Android devices. And the physical version costs $6.50. I gotta say right now, guys, if you do have Diablo 3 and you're planning to play some more, get an authenticator. Please get an authenticator. This is, I mean, it's kind of sad that it's a must-have because it's, you know, it should be an optional thing for people who want that extra level of security. But this is pretty much required for account security on Diablo 3. The Diablo 3 community is, they're like that Star Wars 1313. That whole, you can imagine that whole level being the Diablo community. Very, very malicious folk they are. Lots of botting, hacking, cheating, and they don't care. They justify it. They say, well, the game's broken. I'm going to hack. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to exploit. That's the way Diablo is. So, pretty much you're in a den of thieves. So, get yourself an authenticator. Protect yourself. And hopefully, Blizzard will have this whole thing solved now. I was talking to my wife about this because she tried out Diablo 3. And, you know, it's almost scary that once you put a real money value onto this auction house where players can right now exploit the system and pretty much get tons and tons of gold and tons of gear. When you put a real money dollar amount on that, people are going to make bank, and people who don't make bank by playing by legitimate means are going to be very upset. Especially since, you know, it's supposed to be a level playing field in terms of, you know, how you get these items. You know, of course you depend on friends. Of course you depend on playtime. But when people are taking shortcuts and cheating and botting and, you know, stealing stuff, it's not a level playing field anymore. It's more of a, you know, borderline. People are going to want people caught and banned because there's real money associated with this. If it was just gold, you know, it's just gamers crying. And you're like, oh, forget about it. It's just a game, blah, blah, blah. But once you put real money, you put dollars on that, things have to be taken very, very, very seriously. So, it is something that you guys should definitely take seriously. Like I said, if you don't have an authenticator, get one today. They're absolutely free on if you got a mobile smartphone. But if you don't, $6.50. I know, it's a tax. It's not something I would want to pay in addition to the already $60 price tag on this game. But I've sunk a lot of hours into Diablo. I think it's worth the money so far, given how much I've played it. And, you know, I look back on how much I played Diablo 2, which I still haven't reached that in Diablo 3. And sure, that was definitely worth the money. Diablo 2 was definitely worth the money. Even with all the problems that they're having, even with the, you know, you hit 60 pretty fast, you hit the max level. You know, it's still a good game, but you gotta have authenticator. Check it out, guys. Over on joystick.com, they got the details, and you're over there.
Please support Game Chat with Bwana by turning off your ad blocking software.
Okay. Moving on. In the what department, this developer, Crytek, has come out and spoken against what we've been saying on this podcast for many, many moons. And that I recently said when we were talking about like Battlefield Premium. I think we were talking about during the EA press conference. We were talking about Battlefield Premium. And I said, we're going along this trend where companies are basically nickeling and diming us for stuff that should be in the original game. And they're segmenting it out over time, and they're making it sound like it's a good deal. And we're getting used to that, and people are going, oh, it's a good deal. You know, it's a good deal. It's a trend. It's like the initial game is becoming smaller and smaller, and more content is being spread out, and they're charging us more. So in this instance, you're paying for the game more than once. So Crytek kind of agrees with that. Crytek says that premium services are milking customers to death. Fighting words. Speaking at VideoGamer.com on the last day of E3, the Crytek CEO lamented the rise of DLC and premium gaming services, where he's considered to be milking customers to death. Now, that's not it. Basically, he said that the future, and we've been saying this too as well, the future of online gaming is free to play. And pretty much from here on out, Crytek's going to be focused on free to play games. But that's a double-edged sword, you know? Because while you may sing the praises of free to play, it's a great entry. You know, people can try games, do a lot of stuff, don't have to put any money up front. There's a big problem with free to play games that a lot of companies still have, which is called pay to win. And it has to be brought to the limelight. A lot of companies are like, well, we're not pay to win. We're not pay to win, but they are pay to win. So that's even, I think pay to win is up there with milking customers to death. You know? So it's a double-edged sword. Let's hope Crytek learns from what other companies have done and be able to improve upon it. Now, I've been playing a game recently called EVE Online, which I don't know why you guys didn't tell me to try this game earlier. You did, but I don't know why you guys just didn't tell me EVE Online was such an involved game. You did, but it's got a model that's not free to play that can be free to play. You know, it's one of those games where if you put time into the game, you don't have to pay any money, any real money. And after playing EVE Online, you know, I'm still a newbie, but I can see the various ways to make money. It's not terribly difficult. And if you're serious about the game, you don't have to pay. And it becomes free to play. If you go to the Steam page for EVE Online, they talk about the free to play game. They says, and it has a free to play. They got a bullet talking about the game can be free to play when you buy Plex. So it's the future. I mean, we can't deny that. Everybody's been saying that, including me. I've been saying that free to play game is here, and it's going to be here for a while. So, Crytek, do it right, man. Make sure you guys realize, don't sell guns. Please, just don't sell overpowered guns for real money, because that's a problem that a lot of free-to-play models have. Tribes Ascend was on the verge, man. I mean, we put them in check. The community's like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is exactly how we did it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Like, hey guys, ease up. These guns are way too strong, and people can buy them outright. Need to nerf them. Hey. And then Tribes Ascend came out with their latest weapons update, and the weapons were toned down quite a bit. So they learned their lesson. Learn their lesson good. Let's hope Crytek is the same way. But I'm glad they're going the free-to-play route. You know, I enjoy free-to-play. I used to be against free-to-play. Why? Because pretty much 100% of the games were pay-to-win at the time. And I knew it. And the companies knew it. And they just still did it. And they didn't care. So I was like, I hate free-to-play. Free-to-play? I didn't pay no money to be winning. I want to win with my skills. I want my WASD to do all the work. I want my mouse click to do all the work. I don't want my dollars to do all the work. The WASD. It's all about the WASD. Check it out, guys. Over at videogamer.com. They got the details over there. Videogamer.com. Crytek. All our future games will be free to play. Now. This story here, I had to talk about it because I was very, very disappointed. This is probably the most I've been disappointed in a game in a long time. Rage had a lot of hype. This is the ID shooter Rage. Very much like Borderlands ish type game, but more of an ID type game. And I was so put off by what Rage did, because not only because of their bumpy launch, but because of all of the technical issues they had and how they used the scapegoat of the video drivers for everything. I was like, I can't support a company that does this. So when I saw this article, I'm like, huh? This game is still being worked on, apparently. I saw a tweet from John Carmack that they're actually ready to release mod tools. And I'm like, huh? So this article has a lot of really strange quotes that you can take them how you will. Apparently, this guy, Pete Hines, their marketing boss, he's a marketing guy. He says, we're looking at doing things with rage. Things. Ooh. We're looking at doing things. But obviously, the first thing out of anybody's lips right now when we talk about ID or not is, hey, what's up with rage? They're asking the question they've been asking for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, which is, where's Doom 4? What about Doom 4? As far as we are with rage, the future of that is still to be determined. Doom 4, on the other hand, remains a secretive project, blah, 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 blah. And when they talked about it, it says still being worked on. So what we have said is that it's not coming out this year. We're trying to sort some things out with Human Head. This is Prey 2 that they're talking about. But it's... You read that quote about rage, and you're like, what? But obviously the first thing on anybody's lips right now when we talk about ID is not, hey, what's up with rage? They're asking about Doom 4. But the only thing in this quote that's really substantial is that we're looking at doing some things with rage. Okay. Yeah. So I'm very pessimistic about this. I don't really believe that rage is going to go anywhere. Sadly. I had high hopes for this game, but I mean, if there's one way to turn me off a game, they did it. Oh my goodness. I shut the door so hard. I've never done this to a game that I bought. I just uninstalled it. I said, forget this game. And completely uninstalled it. Oh man, I got so mad. But I had rage. Bethesda still intends for Rage to be a big franchise. I don't know. Check it out, guys. Over there on Eurogamer.net, they got the details over there. Now, we're going to take this slope of downhillness. And oh boy, this man, it's like summertime. Kids are out of school. Both college and high school and middle school and junior high, whatever you want to call it. And the hacks begin. Oh my goodness. I mean, in non-gaming related news, like all these sites like LinkedIn and Last.fm and a bunch of, I mean, it's like eHarmony, even eHarmony got hacked. Man. But apparently, DayZ, the beloved zombie survival game using the Arma 2 engine, Arma 2 mod, has suffered a really serious security breach. And basically a Trojan was uploaded to their download servers. Their download servers is basically a list of files. And people are used to downloading everything. So if you download this one malicious file, you had a Trojan. Now, I haven't updated this game probably 3 weeks. So I was like, whew, man, I'm glad I stopped playing. Not 3 weeks, like 2 weeks. But basically, this file called DayZ AutoUpdater.exe is basically a Trojan that does nasty things in your system. I'm not going to go into details what it does. Also, the forum was supposedly compromised. Now, what makes this story unique amongst all the others is that all server owners, and this is like turning DayZ into a botnet, all server owners, people who own servers of DayZ, have to give full remote desktop access to the DayZ developers. You cannot have a completely closed server. They have to have access to your server. So there's your single point of failure. If somehow this person who wanted to hack got this access info for all these different servers, they pretty much can control hundreds of different powerful machines to do whatever they want. Which is very, very bad. Very, very bad. So it's definitely scary. I'm going to be scanning everything I download from DayZ from now on. Like twice with 3 different virus scanners. But yeah. Pretty nasty. This is a nasty setback for this game that had huge momentum. I think a lot of people probably are going to think twice about trying it now. Like, wait a minute. Isn't that game a Trojan? You know how information passes from person to person to person. By the time it gets to the last person, they're like, you hear that DayZ is a Trojan? It starts out that, oh, the site got hacked and the Trojan was uploaded to the server. And by the time it gets to the 10th person, DayZ is a Trojan. Don't download that game. DayZ is a Trojan. Herp. DayZ is a Trojan. You know how rumors go. So check it out. Over in Escapist Magazine, not good news for the DayZ guys. Not good news at all about DayZ servers getting hacked. Now, the hacks continue if you're a LOL fan. You're a LOL fan. You League of Legends guys in the EU, well, your hackers got ganked. You should have saw them coming from the jungle. I told you to put that ward down, but no. I'm going to buy boots instead. I want to run fast, because I got to go fast. Here, hackers gank League of Legends EU accounts. So, if you have an EU account, if you got an EU account for League of Legends, you might want to go change your password. You probably already heard about this. Yeah, again, it's so many hacks, man. It's like I said it last summer. I remember saying it last summer. I'm like, man, kids are out of school, they get bored, they just gotta hack something. they gotta hack something, so they just run out, hack all the sites, release the passwords, and oh man, it's a security nightmare. I bet every summer now, every company is gonna be doubling down on their security. Probably gonna put up an extra firewall. Probably gonna put up an extra level of encryption. Probably gonna just double up on everything. Change every password everywhere, every day, because this doesn't look good for your company when it gets hacked. I mean, customers don't trust you anymore, and when customers don't trust you, they don't give you any money, and when you don't get any money from customers, you go broke. Don't go broke by not getting any customers. I messed up the DirecTV commercial. Check it out, guys. It's over at escapistmagazine.com. They got the details over there. And that concludes all of our stories that I have. We're going to move on to the user submitted story that we have on our forums over there on Bwana.tv platforms.
Tune in to all things Bwana throughout the week on live.bwana.tv and on twitch.tv/Bwana. Do you love Game Chat? Are you looking for a way to show your appreciation? Become a Bwana.tv premium subscriber. Check out the details at bwana.tv/donate.
Rattle, rattle, rattle. Okay, head over to Bwana.tv/forum. Sign up for our forums there. We talk about tech and stuff. Yeah, we got a forum post up about episode 59, links and stuff. Lots of cool stuff on our forum. Okay, so the first story comes from our fish twit only of fish twits. That fish. Sony unveils stunning God of War Omega Edition. Ah, yes. Stunning. This is going to take me to a translation site. Ooh, that is pretty. That is pretty. Look at that prettiness. If you're to God of War, you're probably going to want that statue of Kratos. Omega. This is the Omega Edition includes God of War Collection Volume 1 and 2 and God of War 3, which are stuck in a steelbook with special artwork. This is translated, so it's probably going to be a little bit weird sounding in English. So they're planning for November 2012 for this Omega Edition. Audition. Cool story, bro. Thanks, Fish Twit, for that. God of War Omega Edition. Those of you in the God of War. Blizzard Banhammer visiting Diablo cheaters in the near future. Yeah. The Banhammer's coming down. It says, have you used any hacks, bots, or modifications in any forms that would violate Diablo 3's instinctual... Ooh, instinctual. A word. Instinctual. 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 Instinctual.
Instinctual.
Instinctual.
Instinctual.
Instinctual.
Instinctual.
Instinctual. Of, relating to, or derived from instinct.
Instinctual.
Instinctual. All right. Instinctual scroll wheel friendly end user license agreement. Well, don't come crying to us when the company drops the ban hammer. Playing Diablo 3 is legitimate. Please playing with an unaltered game client. Ooh. Suspensions and bans of players that have used or started using cheats and hacks will begin in the near future. Now, these are players that are using like macros. They're using like bots, which are essentially like souped up macros anyway, or a third-party program, or they're duping items and things like that, using some malicious stuff. There's a fine line between you know, what people consider unethical in Diablo, like basically exploiting a quest that's like broken over and over again to level up. That's considered unethical. You probably won't get banned for that. However, something that is using a third-party program like a macro, well, that's not unethical. That's just playing against the terms, and you'll get banned for that. So if you see somebody doing bans and hacks, Blizzard may be banning them pretty soon. Pretty soon. The ban hammer is coming down. Probably around the next patch, 1.03, which I hear is going to be coming later this month. Thanks for the story, Fish Twit. Next story comes from Kados14. Marvel Pinball is coming. Marvel Pinball Avengers. You know how long it's been since I played a pinball video game? I used to love these. After teasing us for like after credit scene. Oh, I hope this doesn't have any spoilers. I have not seen the Avengers yet, so I'm gonna read this very, very carefully. Marvel Pinball Avengers Chronicles. So they got Hulk, Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos. Okay. The full pack runs for $9.99 or 800 Microsoft points, depending on how you measure such things. So it's going to be a Xbox Live Arcade title, Avengers Pinball. Thanks for that. Yeah. Call of Duty court case settled. Call of Duty court case settled. Wow. Completely settled? Attorneys say legal proceedings between publisher Call of Duty creators Jason West and Vince Zampella and 40X Infinity Ward. This is over a week old, but I'm going to read it anyway because I didn't know this. The devs will not head to a trial. Terms of settlement not disclosed. Both parties comment on the settlement. Huh. I did not know this. This completely slipped the radar for me. So apparently they're not going to trial. Terms of the deal were strictly confidential and not disclosed. Wow. I really thought there was going to be a long, drawn-out trial. Let's see. Following the publication of the story, Activision Electronic Arts provided comment on the settlement. Below are their statements. Electronic Arts. Activision refusal to pay their talent and attempt to blame EA were absurd. This settlement is a vindication of Vince and Jason and the right of creative artists to collect rewards due to their hard work. Activision Blizzard announced that all parties in the litigation have reached a settlement of the dispute, terms of which are strictly confidential. The company does not believe that the incremental one-time charges... Now, this is interesting because Activision just recently paid out their bonuses to Infinity Ward. We talked about that a few weeks ago. And I think that was one of the big bases. Multiple bases. How does one say that? Bases. Herp. I think that was one of the main points that they brought up when they actually sued. Is that, hey, we got millions of dollars of bonuses coming. You guys haven't paid us. And a bunch of employees walked because they didn't get paid. And apparently, you know, a huge part of their compensation was based on the bonuses. So yeah, I'm kind of glad this was done. Good. Thanks for the story, Katos. All right, next story. Nicholas Fun Stuff says Black Mesa Half-Life remake gets new screens for the first time ever. That's a fan-made game, I believe. Black Mesa Half-Life remake. Once upon a time, 2004, an ambitious, exciting fan mod project began and come together. It was called Black Mesa Source. It was intended to remake the entirety of the original Half-Life to the standpoint modern Source engine. It was a exciting teaser 2005, a full-length trailer. It was released date in late 2009, which came and went. But now, finally, just when the wait's gone on, we got new screenshots. Let's see. Do I have a date here? Along with some teasers that the mod might actually really possibly, if we sit around, join hands and hum at the right cosmic frequency, be released soon. So, yeah, we might be getting this game. Black Mesa in the house. Yes, that's Half-Life. That mod. Hopefully it'll come out. Maybe it'll come out before Half-Life 3. Evil. Alright. Thanks for that story, Nick. Wow, that's all the stories we have. And that concludes all of our stories we have with Game Chat with Bwana episode 59. Guess what time it is, y'all? Guess what time to do? It's title time. Title time is when you guys come up with snazzy titles based on the stories that we talked about in the show. And you guys are pretty good at this sometimes. All the time. You got some good titles. Type them in the chat. I'll pick the top 3, 4, whatever. And then we'll vote on them. Let's go. Okay, The Legend of Zelda is currently in Wiisearch. Wiisearch. Wild, too wild. Gamers will learn to control the art of mech fu. DayZ servers turn into zombies. Star Wars 1313 is unreal. Unreal Engine will really work on anything. You working that Wii thing. Bethesda won't rage quit. Hackers gank low from the jungle. Bethesda's rage is just unreal. The mech fu Manchu. COD has a trial to see if Activision Blizzard gets sold. Zelda and the Wii U get married. Unreal Engine power in the blasters near you. That's a big Hawken joystick. Nintendo working on a new dusty Wii for you. Blizzard finally decides to ban naughty hacksaws. One Hawken joystick to control them all. We require more authentication. Crytek rage quit. Vivendi just plain quits. All your joystick belong to us. So many good ones already. That's not a title at all. Authenticators Anonymous. And stink you all. Okay, let's pick some titles here. Some titles. Like Nick and Fish are going at it. With Zincro and some other folks in between. X-Gamer and Unstoppable. Serenaded Abyss. Zada Carnil. Everybody throwing in titles here. Alright. Let's see here. I like that one. That's a good. One more. All right, let's go. With. All right, Nick, you get another one. No, I'm not gonna do that one. Sorry, Nick, you're not getting another one. We'll do this one. Okay. Okay, we got 3 titles. 3 titles. You guys know what to do. Maybe you don't. We're gonna put these 1, 2, and 3. When B George starts the vote, we will ask you to type the number and the number only, and that will be your vote for the title. So type 1, 2, or 3. Looks like the vote has already started. So go ahead and type it right now. Number 1, The Legend of Zelda is currently in Wiisearch. Bethesda won't rage quit is number 2. Number 3 is Star Wars 1313 is unreal. All right, so it looks like we got enough votes here. So we'll do it in like 10 more, maybe 10 more seconds. 10 more, 10 more, 10 more seconds. 10 more, 10 more, 10 more seconds. 10 more, in 10, in 10, in 10. The results. And the winner is 1. The Legend of Zelda is currently in Wiisearch. Wiisearch. Congratulations, Nick Fun Stuff. You are the winner of Title Time, episode 59, Game Chat with Bwana. Legend of Zelda is currently in Wiisearch. Congratulations, Nick. You haven't won anything final and physical. No. Here at Game Chat with Bwana, we give away what's called accolades. Them bragging rights. You have a full week to brag to others that you are the winner of Game Chat with Bwana. You walk around with that said imaginary badge on your chest. Hold your chest high as you walk, and people will be blinded by them accolades. That Game Chat with Bwana-ness that will be hitting them in the face, causing them to get all kinds of like epic pimples that when you pop them, gold coins pop out. You're like, oh my goodness, my face is bleeding coins. What's going on? And you look up and go, nobody told you to look at my accolades. And they were like, oh, I'm in pain, but I'm rich. Thank you, Nicholas Fun Stuff, for your awesomeness with Game Chat with Bwana accolades. They're awesome like that. They will cause your face to explode into coins. Something you probably thought would never happen. But you'll be a rich, faceless person. Here at Game Chat with Bwana. Episode 59, which will be called The Legend of Zelda, is currently in Wiisearch. And that concludes episode 59 of Game Chat with Bwana. I want to thank everybody for coming by tonight. We're here at live.bwana.tv to twitch.tv/Bwana. We try to do this every Monday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We started a little bit late tonight. Started about 6:30 tonight, so I want to thank everybody for coming by. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Bwana. Or on Bwana Live, if you want to be notified when I go live. Also, follow me on Google+, on Plus Bwana McCall. Also, we have a subreddit at r/Bwana.tv if you want to check out what people are posting to Reddit. Also, I need to put a graphic for this. I don't have a graphic on my screen for our forums. Go to our forums at Bwana.tv/forums. A lot more people post on our forums than they do on Reddit. So, sign up there. Sign up there. That's how people get into our Minecraft servers. Which, oh, I need to make an announcement. We are reviving our pandemic Minecraft server. Yes, those of you may remember our pandemic zombie Minecraft survival server, where it was completely public server where you can join and you were attacked by hordes of zombies and you had to basically find gear and stuff to survive. We did this a long time ago, and the server took a nosedive to the depths of, oh my goodness, it's never going to work again. And we're reviving it. We're working on the map hard. I streamed some of the work we're doing on the map, so look for that to be coming in the next few weeks. Hopefully we'll have it done in a couple weeks. We got a lot of work to do still on it, but pandemic is making a return. Those of you who are in to Minecraft. Oh, and we're also working on a new trailer for that as well, so that's also in the works here at Game Chat and all things Bwana. How we do it over here. All right, guys, that concludes episode 59 of Game Chat with Bwana. Again, I want to thank everybody for watching. Be sure to follow the channel. Be sure to follow me on YouTube at youtube.com/iobuffa if you enjoy what you like. I appreciate all the support, all the donators, all the cakeys, what we call them. Thank you guys. These guys donate $5 a month, and they are eligible for a monthly giveaway of a game. They also get a nice cake next to their name. They get custom icons, and they get forum privileges. They get no ads anywhere that I do things. Just no advertising anywhere. So I thank those guys, and I try to get back to them. We also put a chip in widget under my channel. You guys just want to do a one-time donation of like 50 cents, you can do that as well. Everything helps pay the bills. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks everybody for watching. That concludes the Game Chat Bwana episode 59, and I will see you all next time. Bye. Cut.